Hey everyone, and welcome back to Fluent English Power. I'm Luna.
And I'm Mason. It is so good to have you all here with us today. We're really excited about this one.
Me too, because today we're tackling a topic that is, I think, one of the most important for any English learner, especially if you're a college student. We're going to talk about how to talk about yourself, but not just the basics. We're going deep.
Exactly. Not just my name is or I am a student. That's fine, but it doesn't really build a connection, does it? In college, you're constantly meeting new people, classmates, professors, maybe even future employers. The goal is to share who you are in a way that's memorable and, authentic.
Totally. So, we're going to give you the language and the strategies to talk about your life, your studies, your daily routine, and your dreams in a way that feels natural and confident. And we promise to keep it super easy to understand, perfect for our A2 to B2 level learners out there.
This is going to be a big one, so we've split it into two parts. In this first part, we'll cover how to introduce yourself with more personality and how to talk deeply about your studies and your goals, both big and small.
And in part two, we'll get into the nitty-gritty of daily routines, time management, and study habits. So yeah, make sure you stick around for both. Let's get started, shall we?
Let's do it. Okay, so Luna, the absolute first thing you do when you meet someone is introduce yourself. The basics: name, age, where you live. How can we make this sound more human and less like a robot filling out a form?
Great question, because it can easily sound robotic. Let's start with name and age. Instead of just, my name is Luna and I am 21, you can add a little something extra. For example, hi, I'm Luna. I just turned 21 a couple of months ago, which feels like a big step into real adulthood, you know?
I love that. You added a feeling to it. It gives the other person something to respond to, like, oh wow, happy belated birthday. How does it feel? It starts a real conversation. For me, I could say, hey, I'm Mason. I'm 19 right now, so I'm still one of the younger students in my year, which is interesting sometimes.
See, that little detail, one of the younger students, adds a layer to your story. It's instantly more engaging. Now, what about where you live? This one has so much potential. Instead of just, I live in Mumbai, which is a fact, you can describe it a bit.
For sure. You could talk about your living situation. Like, right now, I'm living in a dorm on campus. It's my first time living away from home, so it's been a huge learning experience, but I'm loving the freedom.
Yes, that tells me so much about you. It says you're independent and embracing a new chapter. Or if you live at home, you could say, I actually still live with my family, which is great because I get home-cooked meals. It's just a short bus ride from the college, so it works out perfectly.
That's a great example. It shows a positive attitude and practicality. It's all about adding that small personal detail. I live in an apartment with two roommates just a few blocks from campus. We found it online and it's a typical student apartment, a bit messy, but it feels like home.
Exactly. You're painting a picture. And that's the key. You're not just giving data, you're sharing a small piece of your life. This is how friendships start. You find those little points of connection.
So true. So once you've covered the basics, the next and probably the biggest question you'll get in college is, so what are you studying or what's your major?
The classic. And the standard answer is, I'm studying business, or my major is engineering, which is fine, but it's a conversation stopper.
It really is. The conversation can just die right there. So how do we breathe life into this answer? I think the secret is to add your why. Why did you choose this subject? What do you find interesting about it?
Yes, the why is everything. Let's take an example. Instead of, I'm studying computer science, try something like this. I'm majoring in computer science. I've always been fascinated by technology, and I really love the problem-solving aspect of coding. It feels like solving a complex puzzle.
Wow, okay, that is so much better. It shows passion, it shows your motivation. Someone can easily ask a follow-up question like, oh, what kind of puzzles? What programming languages are you learning? You've opened the door for a deeper conversation.
Exactly. Let's try another one. Maybe for a student who isn't 100% passionate but is practical. I'm studying economics. To be honest, I chose it because it offers good job prospects, but I'm actually starting to find the subject of global markets really fascinating. It's like understanding the secret engine that runs the world.
That's so good because it's honest and relatable. Many students pick a major for practical reasons. Sharing that vulnerability, that to be honest, makes you sound really genuine. It shows you're thinking about your future, but you're also open to discovering an interest.
Okay, what about you, Mason? Let's pretend you're a history major. How would you describe it?
Okay. I would say something like, I'm a history major. I know, a lot of people think it's just about memorizing dates, but for me, it's more like being a detective. I love digging into old stories and trying to understand why things happened the way they did. It helps me make sense of the world today, you know?
That's brilliant. Being a detective. That's an amazing metaphor. It creates a powerful image. And that phrase at the end, it's a great way to include the other person and make it feel more conversational.
Thanks. So the key takeaway here is state your major, plus add your why or what you find interesting about it. This simple formula can transform your answer.
Perfect. So this naturally leads to the next topic people ask about, your future. The big, scary question. What are your plans after college?
Oh, the pressure. It feels like you need to have your entire life mapped out, but you don't. The key is to talk about your goals, both long-term and short-term, in a way that feels hopeful and flexible, not rigid.
I completely agree. Let's break it down. Let's start with short-term goals. These are more immediate, more manageable, and they show you're focused on the present. They're less intimidating to talk about.
Yeah, great idea. A short-term goal is something you're working on right now or in the near future. So if someone asks about your plans, you could start there. For example, well, for the short term, my main focus is to really do well in my current semester. I have a big project coming up in my marketing class, so I'm putting a lot of my energy into that. I'm also trying to get more involved in campus life, so I'm thinking of joining the photography club.
That is a fantastic answer. It's specific, it's realistic, and it shows you have immediate ambitions. It also reveals a hobby, photography. It's a great way to share more about your personality. Another example could be, my short-term goal right now is to improve my presentation skills. Public speaking makes me a bit nervous, so I'm making sure to volunteer to speak in class whenever I can. It's challenging, but I know it's an important skill.
That shows self-awareness and a desire for personal growth. That is so impressive to hear from a student. It's much better than just saying, I don't know. You're showing that you are actively working on yourself.
So, yeah, think about it. What are you focusing on this semester or this year? Is it a specific grade, learning a new skill like a software or a language, saving up some money from a part-time job? These are all excellent short-term goals to talk about.
Okay, so after short-term goals, let's talk about the big one, future plans or long-term goals. This is where it's okay to dream a little, but also okay to be unsure.
Absolutely. Honesty is key. If you have a clear plan, that's great. You could say something like, after I graduate, my dream is to work for an international NGO. I'm studying environmental science, and I'm really passionate about conservation. So I hope to contribute to a project that helps protect our oceans.
That's very clear and inspiring. It connects your studies directly to your future ambition. But what if you don't have a clear plan, which, let's be real, is most of us in college?
That is so true, and it is completely normal. In that case, you can talk about the direction you're heading in or the options you're considering. For example, I'm not 100% sure what I want to do long term, but I'm really enjoying the creative side of my communications degree. So I'm thinking about exploring careers in either digital marketing or public relations. My plan is to get an internship next summer to see which one I like more.
That is the perfect answer for someone who is still figuring things out. It's honest, it shows you're proactive, you're planning an internship, and it shows you're thinking strategically about your future. It's not I don't know, it's I'm in the process of finding out.
I'm in the process of finding out. I love that phrase. It's so powerful. It communicates confidence even in uncertainty. You're exploring, you're learning. That's what college is all about.
So true. So just to recap what we've covered so far in part 1, first we learned how to introduce ourselves. Name, age, living situation, with a little bit of personality and feeling.
Then we moved on to talking about our studies, our major. The magic formula is what you study plus why you chose it or what you find interesting about it.
And finally, we just talked about our goals. You can discuss your short-term goals to show you're focused and talk about your long-term plans by sharing your dreams or, if you're unsure, by explaining the direction you're exploring.
It's all about sharing your story, piece by piece. You're not just a student. You're a person with passions, thoughts, and a unique journey. And expressing that is what really helps you connect with people.
I couldn't agree more. And this is just the beginning. We've laid the foundation, but there's so much more to talk about. We haven't even touched on your overall study plan, how you manage your time, or what your actual day-to-day life looks like.
And that is exactly what we are going to dive into in part 2. We'll give you the exact phrases and examples to describe your daily routine, how you balance studies and fun, and how you actually, study. It's going to be super practical.
So you are definitely not going to want to miss that. If you found this first part helpful and you're feeling a little more confident already, please do us a huge favor and hit that like button. It really helps our channel.
And make sure you subscribe to Fluent English Power and turn on notifications so you get an alert as soon as part 2 is released. We want to make sure you have all the tools you need to speak English confidently.
Remember, practice is everything. Try using some of these phrases this week, maybe with a classmate, a friend, or even just practice saying them out loud to yourself. Every little bit helps.
That's the spirit. Thank you so much for joining us for part 1. Keep learning, keep growing, and we will see you very soon for part 2.